What's up? Hello, Token Smart. Hello, Mai. How are you doing?
I I fought off the urge to take a nap and was happy I did so. Otherwise, I'd probably be much tired. But I got a couple little treats for me to energize me throughout this show.
Cool. I just shared the screen, so make sure you click the screen when listening to the stream. And I think we are ready to go. Maybe we can wait a minute or two for people to come in and start the Mighty Mai show season 2, like we've said.
Jeez, season two. This is a big moment. Like I said to you pre-show, I was really hoping that I would come with the energy season two, season opener, and I think I'm already feeling the juices from the season two energy just hitting me right now. So it's also that hot pepper I just ate. But nonetheless, we are here, season two. Lots of good topics tonight. I'm excited to chat about each one. And I'm excited to kind of be less random, for this for as we were the last few weeks, which is great. It was great. Everybody who chilled out with us, that was Plivy, Bon Plivy. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
yeah,
but we were waiting for the right time and the right energy to start again, as we were just waiting for the fire to start, and which currently started to happen over the two first week of September, and that's quite crazy to be there now. It's 2 weeks after the beginning of the month, and it seems already going into many directions. And yeah, that's so crazy and a lot of things to touch on. We try uh, to sum it up to just a few topics for tonight, but I'm sure it will let us go into many aspects of all that. And yeah, so I think we wanted to touch on what's going on with the metaverse festivals in general, the trends. Also, there was the royalties happening over a variable, which unlocks or not a few things, because that's interesting. I've looked into it, and that's not exactly what I was expecting, but that's already a great move. And different others topic, like fractionalized ownership with a party bid that I just learned about this week, and yeah, Q&As and whatnot. But yeah, what's been
yeah,
your vibe?
yes. I'm excited about all that. I couldn't say anything for a second there because that
Pep
was a big
Pepper?
that was a big hot pepper. Yeah, blast in my mouth, blasting me. But it's good. It's good. I'm here,
Yeah,
and I'm real excited.
I
I'm real
forgot
excited.
to mention the Odious topic as well, like Odious with with the fundraising of around Odious that's just been announced with big names, etc.
Absolutely, yeah. That's gonna be a good one. We can talk about that and maybe in reference to other platforms as well. And yeah, but I don't know. How do you want to kick it off? I don't know if you had an intro song or something.
Not really, no. We can straight dive into it and start the party.
I love it.
But yeah, I don't know. To me, like one of the biggest shock of the week was the story about Odious, and it answered or perturbed a lot of questions around what's going on with Odious in terms of development. And so I don't know how you perceived the news once you read it, but you told me that you've seen a lot of feedbacks, a lot of crypto Twitter running against Odious, um, pretty hard actually. And so I haven't made much research about these reactions to the news, but I had my own reactions, which I was waiting for the show to touch on. But also, I think if I didn't touch about it, is because I was waiting as well for the reactions of different communities around how it could be perceived, etc. So I'm curious how you got the news and what have you seen since it's been only a few days. So
Yeah, I mean, you said it's definitely a bit of a it's like a bittersweet thing, you know what I'm saying? It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged topic because I feel like first we should just kind of just talk about what the news is and kind
hmm
of get into it, but I do feel I yeah, we have yet to really talk about it. We talked about it very very briefly whenever it but we were just like, yeah, we'll just save it for the show. So basically what happened? So Audius basically announced that they had um investors from Katy Perry, Nas, the Chainsmokers, fucking there was somebody else that I thought
Jason
was
Derulo
yeah.
and an ex-CEO from Sony, and yeah, a lot of people, big names from the industry.
Now on and this is kind of the controversy or the double-edged sword of the topic. Like, you know, on first glance, this looks great. At first glance, this could be very exciting. You know, you're like, oh, this is a platform. It's like, well, it's unknown, but now, you know, everybody who's on there might be like, oh, this is great. This is great. We're gonna get more play. We're gonna get more press, and that is very possible that that is the case out of this. But I think what crypto Twitter was mentioning here, which I think are very valid points, by the way, is a few things. Number one, at the end of the day, an investment from big artists is a little bit, it could be the wrong path, depending on where they really want this to go. So it's not that I don't think, first of all, I'm going to be very transparent off the bat. I don't think that there really is an answer for this. I think it's just going to only be time will tell, but let's talk about both sides for sure. But yeah, so like I said, it could be good because these are big names. All wait, Little Nas X too?
Yeah,
I didn't even see that name. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he's like one of the biggest artists in the world right now,
yeah,
at least just in terms of like the mainstream media or whatever. Now the question is are they gonna put their music up there, or is this money going to support smaller creators? This has basically been the debate. And then also on Twitter, you know, Audius has made some pretty large claims like, oh, we're going to be able to pay you 1,000 times more than Spotify. We're going to be able to pay you direct to consumer, all this stuff. And it's all great on paper or just, you know, in the head. It's a selling point. And I love it. They sold me on it, you know, a year ago, basically. So it worked. Now, the question is that is this move right here evidence that that's the case? I think a lot of people are skeptical. Like I said, you know, there's a few things that Audius has been, you know, preaching that they're going to do. And I don't want to say very little has happened, but, you know, it's been very little moves that don't really appease too many people. It's very much, you know, slight moves that don't really do anything. But then this happens and it's like, well, you know, you're getting investments from these big artists, blah, blah, blah. But yet we're still not getting paid from this platform when there's other platforms that are paying, like Emanate, right? And it's like Emanate is way smaller, has a way smaller market cap, so to speak. Like they don't have the investors that Audius does. They don't have the play that Audius does. But somehow Emanate is paying you. Now, is Audius's move to pay you way more than Emanate? Maybe. I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't know where this is going to go. But this move right here doesn't necessarily mean anything good for any little artist on the platform because these are big artists and that doesn't necessarily mean that it'll trickle down to say you or I, but who knows? I don't know. So I kind of laid it out a little bit. I don't know if I made a whole lot of fucking sense, but I'm gonna let you kind of take it from there, and then we can kind of just banter about it.
yeah, absolutely. So to me, the main question I saw to kind of to resume the mindset was did Odious sold their soul to the devil pretty much in a symbolic manner because yes. it's all about where it's going to
It's
go.
a good way to put it. I'm sorry to cut you with that. Yeah, it's a good way to put it, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, just because of the specifically because of the list, this list of names, that to me, from my research point of view, are tied to um pretty much the wrong side of the industry, the one that we don't want to see over here. And so I would question every blockchain company's directions or connections, especially when it comes to these specific group of people. And so there's two ways, like you said, to see it, where for the mainstream perspective, yeah, of course, it's very attractive. It's a good move because it will give confidence for new audiences to join Audius and to basically put your music on it if you are sensitive to such names, etc. Because this is what it is here. It's fundraising, but it's also a campaign, a marketing campaign, uh, disguised. But this is clearly a marketing campaign to uh, get confidence over the platform using those big names, the top names in the industry. So it you can make the shortcut as yeah, if Katy Perry likes this platform, I might like this platform. That's to me as simple as that when it comes down to their marketing move here with the announcement, because they could have been more quiet about the announcement as well. So there's a double ripple
Right,
effect
right.
here, where well, so raising money, of course, is good for the development of the platform. And I think the trick here and the question, the final question is, um, are all the people onboarding Audius, all the early adopters, going into the right direction with this platform? Because, like you said, everyone came here for a certain vision of music, which is a good question when it comes to these names, how they perceive such a new system and why they want to onboard on it. Because, yeah, on the paper, it puts everyone on a level playing field. And so you would like to say, hey, I like that these uh, big celebrity names want the music industry to be more fair. But we know as insiders that behind the curtain, that's not necessarily their goal, their personal goal, or their goal as a group of representing the top of the traditional industry. So, what's the motives here, especially connecting with suddenly a whole crew connected to the top names of the traditional industry?
Yeah, no, and you said a lot of things that kind of spark thoughts, which is like, this could be a very minimal move. Which, let's be honest, what was it? Was the total like $5 million?
Yeah, it doesn't sound a lot for
It's
these
really not.
names. Yeah, it's
It's
not.
especially considering what they're promising. I think this is another thing too. It's like, when I first heard about the idea, I knew it was like too good to be true in a sense. I'm like, there's no way this could work. Like, and I still kind of do feel like that. Like, what do you mean you're gonna pay me 1,000 times more than Spotify? Spotify will just own you. Spotify will just buy you. Like, unless you guys are basically saying like, oh, we're gonna do this for the betterment of the world. And with this move, it's really hard to believe that that's their move now because these are the biggest people kind of in the industry. So how are they, unless they're all unsigned somehow and they're all basically banding together saying we're done with the industry, we're gonna help this thing do that. If that's the case, great. But also with only a $5 million thing, and like you said, they could have done this quietly. It does look like just a marketing move then. Like they might be doing absolutely nothing. They might have absolutely nothing to do with it. They might have just literally thrown
Hmm.
money at the token audio. That
Yeah,
could have been
yeah,
that could be the reality of what actually happened.
yeah,
So we have no idea of the case. It could just be like you said, uh a marketing move just to state, hey, these people invested and like I don't know. Some of them replied to on Twitter and like seemed excited. So I'm not saying everybody, but who knows? Maybe they cut a deal with them. I mean, it could have been anything. Audience could treat themselves like a label and sign artists like that. Like it's not complicated, especially when they have audio. The token. It's
yeah,
like it's basically equity in the company. Like they can give that out as they want. That's the decentralization of the matters. Like they're picking the correct artists to help them decentralize it. But like I just don't know if that's a good or a bad move. Whereas I feel like what they should be doing is they should be finding small undiscovered artists and giving them a massive opportunity. That would be a way
Yeah.
smarter move in my opinion if they really believed in small artists. Like,
But
and I'm not saying that that's I'm
go
not
ahead.
saying they don't, but like it wouldn't be a bad idea to give, 10,000 audio to a random artist on the platform that's like under a certain amount of followers or just doesn't get or just new, like it's just not a discovered artist, so to speak. Like, why wouldn't you want your platform to have the next biggest artist that comes from that platform? Spotify or sorry, SoundCloud wouldn't have been SoundCloud if it wasn't for certain artists basically breaking their platform for them. It's the same thing with any other platform. All these platforms are essentially broken and to the public because certain artists are on there almost exclusively or basically like where
Hmm.
you can find
Yeah.
those artists in the best way. So it, it's a yeah,
Yeah, but
it's like I said, it's a double edged sword, and you can
I
look at it two
I
ways.
think one of the prism, the catalyst is actually releasing their final monetization system, and everything revolves around that, and that's why I think we are asking so much question on every move. Like, does this indicate how the final product is gonna be? And there is the same question. There are, I don't know if it's on purpose, because they have something big coming, and that's what I wish the most, or they do marketing in an original way, in a sense, where they can head into trouble by making this much marketing and noise and having a final product that everyone is still waiting on. So I bet the investors know what the final system is, whether they wouldn't be investing in it, I guess. But will it look like something that fits for them or for this vision that's always been promoted around Odious, but that no one has ever seen, you know, activated yet, because everyone has a profile, everyone has his music on Odious, but it's like everyone is just waiting for the party to start at some point, and these little indications, every move Odious is doing is always kind of around the main thing, and so it's normal that everyone questions on each of these moves, what's the intention behind, what is going to be the final tool.
Yeah, I mean, even thinking about it, like, why would they tell people that that happened? Like, who wrote that article, and
I,
why would they want that article published?
I,
And I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying it's like if that article didn't get them 15 million more in investments just from people seeing that, I'd be worried. And like that's how like that's almost like why I feel like it should have happened. It's like they announced that to entice other people to then invest. And if it didn't do that, I'd be worried if I was them. Cuz it's like if those names don't entice
yeah, but
people with a lot of money who believe in the web3 world and in the future of it all, didn't put the money there or doesn't think that there's anything special going on there, I think that's a bad thing. But who knows? Like we don't have those numbers. Like they're not announcing the next 10 million. If there was, they didn't announce it. You know what I mean? And that's like
mhm.
that's what I mean. 5 million is a small amount for those names. Like each one of those could have easily tossed a million in and not really probably even put a dent on their net worth.
But
You know,
something that made me a little off was looking the amount of flex attitude from Odious and Odious members around this particular news. So first, the article comes from Rolling Stones, and then Odious retweeted and welcomed, Katy Perry, Nas, Steve Aoki, Chainsmoker, Mike Shinoda, Jason Derulo, Disclosure, Pusha T, and even more, to define the future of music with them, which is totally democratic, diplomatic, I would say, sorry. And so, yeah, it's a combination between the article and audio promoting the article, but also I've seen, a lot of, how do you say, tweets around the news saying, like trolling, like nothing to see here, but in a flex way to tweet that, and and I've seen many of that, and I was like, okay, I see that for many people it's a good, it sounds like a huge move, but
I mean, dude, they say
actually I was
they're saying
skeptical. Yeah, I was skeptical at the list of name, but yeah, for
well, it
different
says
reasons.
it says welcome to the family. Like that's
Yeah,
a big
yeah.
statement. That's a big statement. Yeah, welcome to the family. You ain't just saying, "Hey, thanks for the fucking 5G, 5 mil."
Mhm,
You're saying welcome to the family. Like it sounds like you gave more than 5 mil, like a little sign, like a little, "Hey, we promised to do this," like, "Hey, this, blah blah blah." That's what it sounds like.
mhm,
That's what it sounds like. You invest in our company, and we'll go ahead and we'll make sure that you have one album that's exclusive to Audius, and we fucking blast it, and we get you popping on our platform, so that if we do ever do anything of value, it can be you can be involved, and you can have like kind of like an in, right?
mhm.
Whereas like this is like more of a paranoid thought, but at the end of the day, I feel like this is more of the reality than not, because like I said, it just doesn't make I mean, I don't know. I wanna say that they're not just like business people, but to be honest, I just feel like it's just a giant Web3 business with
What?
the principles of a Web2 world. This is what I'm noticing more and more with every single Web3 thing I see, is that they're all gonna eventually turn into just the same type of concepts and tactics, trying to get as much as they can and give as little as possible. But at the same time, that's going to be more balanced than the old world. But how close is it going to be? Whereas like audience is saying, like I said, like their original promise was 1,000 times more than Spotify per stream. How are they going to do that? How are they going to pull that off? What's it? What? And if Katy Perry and all of these people are there doing it, it's like, well, why aren't they doing it now? Like, there's a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of really like important questions that I feel like are just not being answered on purpose. Like they're keeping everybody at a distance while they go ahead and they play out their plan that hopefully is in the benefit of us who have helped them grow their platform. Um, because that's the reality of it. And I feel like that would be a very disappointing end if we didn't see something that benefited the small person much more than
Yeah, because that
any
was
of the
definitely the problem of Spotify, after 10 years of saying that it is fair, etc., ending up with studies, the past 2 years saying that every money put into Spotify benefits the top 10 artists. And so, yeah, it must, that's the purpose and the promises of such platforms to rebalance this problem. And so, yeah, it must not uh, go into the same direction one time again. Or if it does, yeah, it's very disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we would allow it, because I think they like look, I don't hold like a fucking significant amount of audio, but I hold some, and it's like, dude, if I didn't really see the value in like, I mean, I'm holding because I believe in the concept. So it's like, but at the end of the day, the thing that they do have to rely on is the people who are fucking with Audius to stay fucking with Audius. Otherwise, it is just gonna be a fucking it's not gonna be beneficial unless they just literally swap. They get all these newcomers to come in and basically get the platform users. Then they basically get all these big name celebs to jump in, and then it just basically gets them streams. Doesn't really help out the little guy. Then the little guys leave, and all of that basically goes back to the artists that are at the top. And so it's just gonna turn into a Spotify, but a quote unquote decentralized Spotify. But at
Or
the end of
it's
the
the other,
day,
yeah, or it's the other way, looking at the tweet, welcome to the family, saying that you are important, but you are not the only members of the family. There's a whole family. So it's an interesting way to analyze it, where if I would be
There could have
odious.
been.
You know, I
There,
would use, of course, the name, the influence of these names, but including them in a manner that still protects the upcoming more fair tool, because their main slogan is to, the platform is owned by its user, so we have yet to see what it really means in the end. But they it would be smart from them to jump on their notoriety and bounce for the interest of the whole community. So I can see that happening too, but that's the questioning that not having the final tool keep bringing again and again, because we don't know in which direction it is going, and looking at this type of move really makes you question for the intentions behind.
right. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to fully put a judgment on it. I think that every move that Audius makes in a public fashion, though, like people are just gonna keep paying more and more attention until it makes sense to like really join in or really not. I mean, at the end of the day, like they got enough leverage at this point where I feel like they're leading the space. Like I'm hearing Audius's name in a lot of people's mouths from all over the place. That it's not like it's super popular, but I just mean it's starting to spread. It's definitely starting to spread. And this news was was big. In terms of marketing, it worked. It worked. It got people to be a little more curious. But like if I go on Audius right now, is there any Katy Perry music up there? Is Little Nas X's new album on Audius? These are questions.
Yeah, I don't think yet, but some of the names already, like Disclosure or Mike Shinoda, or Steve Aoki, I'm sure already have accounts, but when it comes to Katy Perry, etc., I'm not sure yet. But yeah, these
That's why
are good questions.
that's why I'm curious like what is the um what is the end goal with some of those artists? Like what did they get in return? That's the question. I just look, what did they get? You should tell us.
Yeah,
You should tell us. You probably paid him in audio.
but yeah, it seems like some of these accounts exist already, so we are investigating live. But like I'm looking for NAS, for example, and I find nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mike Shinoda has one. Yeah, I bet most of them already has one already. But yeah, it's just those questions about not having the final tool that keep lead them into a trouble zone where a skeptic zone where the more move will they will continue to do, revolving around the final you know suspense moment that everyone is waiting for, um, keeps raising more and more attention, but this attention needs to be resolved at some point, and that's where we are, and where we don't have the answers yet. So I tried my best not to go into the conspiracy topic here, but there's definitely a vibe connected to it as well, and that's why I would double my skepticism over the news. But yeah, that's we we have to keep an eye on this.
Yeah, it's definitely an it's interesting thing to pay attention to. We'll see how it plays out, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's really all we got. Other than Emanate, and Emanate has what, like 1/25th of the listeners.
I don't know the exact ratio, but it's a little less, I think. Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
I mean it's
I
less
think it's
than Odious in terms of perception, but in terms of what's going on the platform, I mean that's the same for music. On 2 3 years ago, I would prefer going on a UX where it's ugly, but I know that the background blockchain mechanism is working. even though it's at try, but it's open testing to everyone. And that's the case for Emanate, where the platform was not fully finished, but the blockchain mechanism was solved already and working. And so that's what we are missing here with Audius. They did the total opposite, and that's an interesting way to look at it. And that's why it makes it definitely a unique case study. But yeah, the other platform has the grant that they already have their mechanism, their blockchain streaming mechanism functional, which is still not the case for Audius. But Audius is raising the most attention, so something has to be solved in the middle of this, and yeah. But Lil Nas X
Yeah,
doesn't have an account, for example.
yeah. I think just to like kind of broaden the topic, I think that speaking of emanate, like the question that I really would have right now that makes sense from my peasant point of view is how the fuck is emanate paying people in real time and Audius isn't? What are you doing, Audius? That's a serious question. What the fuck is taking so long?
Yeah,
What is so challenging? It's just like it's an interesting reason. Somebody says because EOS. I know
or
nothing about
auditing.
what that
Auditing
is.
can be something as well.
But Emanate is moving to Ethereum.
Hmm.
So I don't know if that means they're not gonna. Does that mean by that logic that means that they're not going to pay you when they're on Ethereum? And I don't know if I wouldn't say that that's what you're saying, right?
I don't know. It's coming. Everything is moving fast right now. So yeah, definitely going to keep an eye on this, but we definitely felt the need to address those questions out there and just for us to brainstorm and see where all of this is going. But I mean, yeah, we could say a lot more about it, but I think those speculations have to deal with upcoming news and maybe are safer to bring later once we know better where it's going. But definitely raise a lot of questions. But that's to me a warning to like
I
all
feel
the
like that
blockchain
question has
space.
got to be somewhat simple. Like
Yeah,
the
that's the
answer is either one
blockchain.
of two. Like
Yeah.
the answer can only be so many things. Like Audius is either one waiting until they have enough users to support their funding model, or they're waiting for enough funds to support their funding model,
Hmm.
or they're just waiting until they get enough funds that they can all walk away real nice and healthy, and then we'll give the rest that feels good to the peasant artist at the bottom.
Yeah, that can be a way they choose to take. But I mean, that's the promise right now. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, we will definitely find out. But still interesting news nonetheless. Big investments from Katy Perry, Nas, Lil. I don't think Nas X invested. I don't. I think that's fake news.
Yeah, I
They
think
also
it's
spelled.
Nas. It's
They
Nas.
also. Yeah, that's what I thought. That makes way more fucking sense.
Yeah, you know how journalism is made these days on the internet. So yeah, it's Nas, but not sure Lil Nas X has something to do with it yet.
Yeah, that's clivity on the slivity, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
So what else we've seen this week? An exciting topic coming about the royalties happening on Rarible, and so I took a little look into what was going on here because I was pretty excited that royalties was coming. Finally, I would say, but that's all encouragement words on Rarible. But I was mixed, at the end, looking for it because I was first expecting that the implementation of royalties would be on the NFT level, so saying that you and I create an NFT, we both put our address on the NFT and then we sell it. But actually, the royalties happens on collection levels, which means that for every royalty that you want to apply, it's to apply to an entire connections and not on a NFT level. So each time you want to make a collaboration with different people, you have to create like something like a folder in which you will put your NFTs. But to me, the question is more like sometimes collaborations happens just once in a life, and so you are not necessarily going to create a collections for just one NFT and etc. But
Why do you think they did that? That sounds so fucking dumb. Why would they limit it like that?
I'm wondering because as time passes, I'm wondering how difficult it is to implement royalties on NFT level because it really doesn't seem so easy to do. Looking at new chains that develop their own code to be able to do so is already a huge task. But it tells a lot on the fact that on Ethereum it looks kind of complicated, but not impossible because you see on known origin, you are able to do a split on NFT level up to two people. So there's again hard limitation that tells you that it's not that easy to put like royalties over 50 people on Ethereum. And so one of the notes on the Rarible article says that don't put 100 address into your royalty split collection. Why? Because it's going to be written on the blockchain, and the more characters that you enter the blockchain, the more gas you're going to pay. So if you put 100 people onto a royalty split collection contract, then the price of the NFT is going to be exponentially way more because you have to write all these addresses in the blockchain, and so the end user, the end buyer, will pay as much gas as there are royalty split addresses.
Oh wow, that's interesting. So how does Mirror get away with it?
I don't know. I know Known Origin is doing it as well. Mint
I'm not
did.
gonna lie, the
I,
mirror thing I think is pretty annoying that you need like 15,000 fucking votes to get on that platform. Don't get me wrong, I think that we should make a run. I think we should make a run for it, no doubt. I think we should make a run for Token Smart. I think we should make a run for the MVMF, and then I think we should make one for me. No, I'm just, I,
Absolutely.
but
But yeah,
it would be ideal. It would be super ideal. I mean, doing split royalties for and crowd funds, it's so incredibly fucking easy. I've seen so many things get funded just because people probably just like clicking fund on these platforms and they don't know what to do with their money, which is great.
good call.
I mean, not everybody, but you know what I'm saying. So it's just a matter of like, yeah, like why is that so difficult to get on? You have to have like you have to have like everybody that's voting kind of vote for you that week. Otherwise, you're kind of fucked.
But yeah, I mean that's the same question for many very locked platforms yet that are still beta testing around their project and testing them through this method. So I get that Mirror is testing its own software by limiting it, and I think that's most of the case what makes the most sense to me that they do that. But I mean, yeah, it's still very limiting for the whole community to use easily.
Sorry, what do you say?
That it's not easy to use easily for the community yet because of these limits of access that there are in place right now on these platforms. Yeah, I read you, Lindsay, saying they were using the whole royalties and it'll be so easy to split and everyone gets me money using blockchain and these other new cool things in like 2016, and now they're like so about that actually. Yeah, I feel you. Like, to me, feels like one of the main concern for all of these company to be working on that royalties please split technology, because it really feels like one of the most urgent now that we see the space is totally booming. It only makes sense to unlock the potential around it, or they want to lock it in a way or preserve it from the whole opening the gate type like situation. And maybe there's a prevention from certain places, but yeah, slow rollout, exactly, easy, and that can be frustrating, especially when you see the meaning of a tool, you want to use it right now, you see its reach and what you can do with it, etc. It's under your eyes, but it's just locked, and then you come back 1 year after and it's still locked, and you're like, what's okay? Have we lost you, my? Are you with us? Oh, I don't see my in the list, so you might have some troubles with the computer. Wow, that's a nice Pope. Thank you, Carolina. Get your Pope. Yes, easy. My swapping devices. Talking about swaps, I just understood finally the meaning of this new exchange, the Lattice exchange technology built on the hypergraph, the $DAG constellation token thing, and just connected the dots about the potential of something like that. It's basically a Uniswap, but between all the coins and not only ERC20 coins. And that sounds exciting, and I've heard about it since a long time ago, but I haven't really understood what the meaning was. And quite excited about this type of technology coming. So yeah, basically it just means you can swap a Tezos versus an Ether or whatever coin to whatever coin. It's a cross blockchain exchanges swap, exactly like Uniswap, but cross blockchains. And so it's very interesting how it works. And yeah, so definitely going to look into this. And as there's a nice deep, I'm not trading, but I'm looking. It's Lattice Exchange. Yep, but I might have to go look at it as well. So it seems like we really lost Mai on the run. Um, I know he had a lot of thoughts about this royalty topic, but yeah, that's still very exciting to see royalties coming to platforms more and more. I've seen the collaborator feature on
Yeah.
OpenSea. Yo, we got you.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. So that was a weird one. My computer, like my power just went out. So
Wow, is it okay? My No, the computer seems to be acting. So, can you guys hear me? No, it seems like I don't have internet again. Yeah, I agree. Can you hear me? Yeah, I had to switch my turn to switch to mobile as I have some internet shortage, but that's fine. Yeah, it sounds like it. But yeah, what? Yeah, we were on the royalty split on Rarible. Yes.
I feel that. I don't have any beef
Can you
with
hear
those
me?
platforms. What's up? Yeah, I can hear
Yeah, I'm back on the mic. So yeah,
you.
it makes sense. But the question is, it as the main crowd is still on Ethereum, uh, how and why it seems to that difficult to create those to implement those royalties on Ethereum. And like you said, the question comes from Mirror, where they have the solution, and this has to become some sort of a standard that spreads and doesn't really spread yet. But I know it's a main concept for the whole space on Ethereum, and the more times and the more boom there is around NFT, the more the pressure around those royalties feature start to be felt. But I don't know. Yeah, it's halfway.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Once again, yeah, we don't want to be too critical because I know that everybody's sensitive, but at the end of the day, like I can only give you my fucking harshest opinion. And honestly, if I'm a developer, I want the harshest opinion. And yeah, I just think like everybody should be doing whatever the consumer wants and needs the most. That's basically the priority. But it is nice to know that there are other side chains, which is what I'm considering them, like Near that are doing a lot of what we're talking about. But the problem with Near is then you got to do a whole separate setup. People don't want to do that, and I wouldn't even really waste my time doing that unless somebody was forcing one down my throat. So I don't have anything against Near. It's just that it's not convenient. But you tie all these together and make it all work, then all of a sudden I'm in. You know,
Yeah,
I don't care what the fuck blockchain it's on, as long as it does what we want it to do.
yeah.
Which is again a big fucking proof that we are massively we're so early that we can complain and talk about these things.
Yeah, bridges and also cross-chain technologies. I mean, that's what, as I'm looking into it, the Constellation project is about coming with these lattice exchanges. But I think you were offline when we were talking about it, as I discovered a new exchange that I've heard from a long time, but I wasn't really paying attention to what it really was representing. And basically, it's a cross-chain swap like Uniswap, but you can swap cross-chain very easily. And this is based on a new generation of technology, which is called hypergraph. And this has to be, in a
Oh,
way, applied to,
is that
um,
constellation? Is that constellation?
yeah, that's
Oh
it.
yeah, I'm about to toss half my net worth in that bond. I'm about to toss half of my net worth. Financial advice: put all of your money into Constellation. Say that I sent you, and then when we're all rich next year, you guys can all thank me. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Not financial advice. I'm just playing. I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. All right.
Not financial advice, but yeah, the guys I'm following on the trading aspect of things are really looking closely into DAG, and one of the good reasons for it is that the US Army is actually building on DAG, and the last time something like that happened, it basically became the internet, and so that's because the technology of the hypergraph, if I understand it well, allows to identify any file type on the internet, but as neutral. So it doesn't know if it's a MP3, a JPEG, or any type of file system in the world. It just creates hashes, and those hashes can move on the network, and so that's what can create this cross-chain moves to happen, because it takes basically the information from a coin of Ethereum and it translates it into the graph into a hash as neutral information, and then converts it into, let's say, Tezos coin information and plug it into the Tezos blockchain. So basically it can translate anything into anything by basically adding a new standard for file systems, which puts every file as neutral and goes across networks like that on its own system. So something like that applied to NFTs and all the features that the end consumer the end the end consumer will require is definitely promising in a sense, because if Constellation becomes the protocol that helps the solving one of the side of the cross-chain question, it's definitely an interesting thing to look for as well.
Yeah, no doubt. That's it's the thing that we keep coming back to. You know, whatever is gonna make things the easiest for everybody is ultimately gonna win.
So on the for the question, is this like wrapping? From what I understood, it's like wrapping, but on the the data layer, not on the blockchain layer. I don't know how I would explain that, but basically it's wrapping it into data, and these data are able to be transferred to encode and then be decoded onto another chain or another place, basically. But it's wrapping data versus wrapping coins.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, but it's very early for cross-chain technologies. I feel you easy. So we have to get comfortable as along its disruption. I don't know if it's similar to how papers are being wrapped. I'm not sure, but I have no idea. But yeah, exciting. I mean, half exciting as like seeing the news from Rarible. I was like, okay, cool. There's some collaboration that is waiting on the side, and we're just waiting for this uh, royalty splits to be more easy to do, to mint those. And we were like, okay, we're going to do this NFT, and then we read the article and we're like, okay, we can do it, but it's not gonna be how we were envisioning it at the beginning. But it will come. Let's stay, optimist about it. It's not that it's impossible. So it seems that it's very difficult to implement and acquire and scale it actually. So it's about patience.
Right. And I mean, yeah, we'll be able to use it still, like for
Yeah.
our stuff. You know, like there's a lot of stuff that it could still be beneficial for. It's not like it's completely useless, but
No,
you
absolutely
know,
not.
I'm just big on, like why do one thing if you're not going to do the other? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If you're telling me that we're gonna have a buffet, and then you say, "All right, we're kicking it off," but you don't got
Croissant.
cheeseburger, but you got fries out, bro. I don't want no fucking fries without a burger, bro. What is this? What is this? Yeah, sure, I could eat fries, but that's a little bit inconvenient. You know what I mean? It's not really what I'm looking for. I want the whole buffet, guys. I want the whole fucking thing. Quit fucking around.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm just
that's
fucking
kind of
around.
the
I'm just
point. Yeah, of course, that's kind of the point.
But at the same time, like, get your heads out of your asses, guys. Like, you know what I mean? Quit developing shit that no one really wants. It's just like just focus on the stuff that's gonna help everybody. Don't give a bunch of incentives to rich people. Don't just go with the money. Be slightly represent what the Web3 world is supposed to represent for like 10 minutes out of the week, and maybe we'd have something. Maybe we'd have something by now.
Yeah, but yeah, I think we can segue into the next topic, and whether you choose it is fractionalized ownership, talking about party beads, that you would be more um, knowledgeable than me to bring the subject, or we can dive into the metaverse festivals trends.
Okay, I'm interested. What's this next part? What did you say it was?
Metaverse festivals or fractionalized ownership with Partybeat?
Oh, let's talk about this fractionalized ownership.
Okay.
It's interesting, and it's not just party bid. We could use party bid, and then there's another thing called what is it? Fractional.
Um, yeah, I don't remember it, but yeah, I see what you're talking about.
And that's on Clippity, and that's on Slippity. Who's gonna you know what I mean? Who can debate the Slippity on the bone flown Clippity? No one.
But you told me about Partybeat. I didn't know about it before, and
Yeah.
maybe
Party
you
bid's
can
pretty
break.
fucking sweet.
Maybe you can break it down.
Let me break it down from my perspective, and then I'm gonna let you kind of like basically pop in, and we can talk about its pros and cons, and things that I like about it, and the things that I could see why somebody would be like whatever. So first off, basically what Party Bid is it allows anybody to create essentially a group of people that all want to bid on a particular NFT. So, for example, let's say I launch an NFT and I say, I want this fucking NFT to be bought for 100 billion ETH. 100 billy, bro. And so, what I say is, I start a party. I call that party my world. I create a fractional token of that thing and I call it the 1 billy toke. And I basically go in on it and I started off with the people in the Johnson Bon Flin Flon, and I say, hey, you guys all go ahead and bid on it, and basically based on the amount of money you put in on that bid, you get that percentage back in token, and blah 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 blah. So I don't even get that. I don't even understand that. You have to explain that better. That's a cool painting though, or I don't know what it is, but it looks nice. 100 Billy. But yeah, so oh yeah, my gibberish accent is what you're saying. Whenever I'm fucking fed up, that's how I talk, and that's on Clivity. Sounds Cajun. I don't know anything about Cajun. But anyways, so yeah, so party bid is basically that. You can start a party, you could have an NFT auction, or it could be somebody else's NFT auction, and you basically are just creating a group of people that are buying into this NFT. Why I think this is so incredible to me is because this is basically a private investment firm that's created out of thin air in fucking seconds, and you can have anybody you want in it, and anybody. It's like permissionless. It's absolutely mind blowing to me. To be totally honest with you, I find it pretty next level, and
Yeah.
that's next level born checks bevel.
No, I got you. And so I tried to think about it in the context of music because definitely is one of the field targeted with Party Bid. And so we were wondering like what kind of situation would be interesting in music to work as such asset as a fractionalized ownership because there's only so much way to put out NFTs and make multiples to create communities of people owning the same asset without the need of fractionalized ownership. But in the case, let's imagine that someone really wants to create a unique asset in music, following Studio Nouveau's philosophy about the fact that music can be as art is perceived in the art market, so really something unique that people can revalue out of big numbers, and actually the Web3 would make this possible, and so that's where fractionalized ownership comes into place for music. And so, but what kind of situation could we imagine to picture what such a tool can unlock for music, and I'm sure there's infinite ways for music to be used like that. But my own example, and that, but maybe I remember I told it already. But I think don't remember if I told it to you, my or here in Token Smart, but I will run it again. If you imagine, and that's a very crazy idea. I'm just picturing and speculating out loud just for the purpose of explaining how it could work for music. So let's imagine that Michael Jackson today say that he is alive, like he come back in the media and he's alive, and he creates one NFT, just one,
Boo!
just one NFT. He creates this one-on-one NFT that he puts out, and then he disappears again. So what would be the value of such an asset?
Boo!
And how would it be possible for the entire crowd of fans all across the world to interact with that NFT? And so basically, that's where we could see in the world such situation happening. So not saying with Michael Jackson, but this type of cultural, historical impact on their own history, uh, on their career, that would make an impact, very widely and allow the potential for fractionalized ownership to make sense for a wider audience than just people who are interested, in fractionalized ownership as professionals. But actually, I'm talking the really larger audience, uh, the very little guy, the everyone who is fan of Michael Jackson could have a part of this very magic piece and own it, and let it grow in their wallet and hodling. So basically, that was one of an example I found to explain it. But yeah, I'm sure I'm missing most of how Party Beats actually interacts with the whole Web3 ecosystem and what it can all unlock. But I'm pretty excited to yeah, use or look how it goes, around that tool, because I know there's a DAO as well running alongside, and so yeah, but I'm new to
Yeah,
it.
I think that I think the benefit of a party bid concept that's successful is that this group of people are like investing together and they all kind of believe in the decisions that they're making. I mean, that's really the only benefit, because at the end of the day, if there's 10,000 people that are in a party bid, why not? What if, and I mean, it would depend on the NFT and it would depend on the creator of the NFT, but like, look, there's a lot of good ideas that I think could be cool with it, but then there's also just ways that you could just make the same concept and not do it in fractions, but you could just fractionalize how many additions there are. So instead of having 13 people fractionally own this NFT, why don't you just create 13 editions and just price it in the same manner? There's no
Hmm.
difference, and everybody gets their own
Yeah,
piece of the puzzle.
that's my
It's the
point.
same
But yeah.
concept. But I think there's benefits to both in different ways. But I think that option makes more sense for most people. But a party bid could be more valuable, but it would just have to be perfect. And they would have to really believe, like, yeah, we're in it together. Sick.
Yeah, but I yet have to dive into it even more to understand what's the reach of, you know, beyond music of such a tool. And but yeah, definitely looks exciting as you explain it.
Yeah, a party bid would be better for like the MVMF. Like the
Yeah,
MVMF should have a party bid that's going for throughout the entire event and throughout all of the NFT auctions. Essentially, um, they could be buying up all of these fucking NFTs fractionally throughout this entire event. This fucking epic ass MVMF token that gets made. And it's just all of the NFTs that get auctioned off throughout this weekend exclusively. Whoa.
yeah, good segue for the metaverse festivals
That's on
topic.
Clivity and that's on Slivity.
Yeah, that's all organic and natural. So that's all the topics we talked throughout the week and were the most exciting from our perspective. And of course, one of the main one is the metaverse festival trends that is starting to flourish all around, and
Yep.
this is very exciting
I think
in many
it's good.
ways, and they are inspiring us, and maybe we are inspiring them as well. It really works as a hive of um, intellectual thought, food for thought process. I don't know how to call it, but it really feels like ideas are spreading real fast amongst the community right now, and that everyone look at each other like, what's the next big thing that we can do collectively? And it seems like one of the biggest answer from this new school year is let's start a party. And I see different groups of people heading
It's
into the
great.
organization of festivals, and I'm very excited that we are also working on that as well.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I definitely feel like there's something in the air, as there always tends to be, and that's the spreading of communal thought that is the Web3 world in the creatives and the thinkers within the space. So we are here, yeah, there's going to be a lot of metaverse events, but nothing like the MVMF. Let's be honest. Like, there's going to be all these events, and they're going to try their best to outbeat the MVMF and what all the cool stuff we're going to be doing, and you know what I mean? Blah, 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 blah. But then come on. None of these events can be like the MVMF. And that's big clear, and that's on Clivity, and that's on Slivity.
So from reporter from the CIA, it seems like Metaverse Palooza is happening tomorrow in real life alongside the metaverse. I would have called it Metapalooza more easily, like the B20 did. But Metaverse Palooza happening tomorrow. I mean, we've seen Decentraland announce something around Metaverse Festival as well.
I
They're
wonder what
just
that's going to be about.
teasing.
I really would love to be a part of that somehow, but I don't know, though. I don't know if
Mm,
they're going to invite me.
yeah. So they are telling, get ready. Metaverse Music Festival are uh, coming.
Yeah.
Metaverse
Hey,
Festival, not music, but
Hey, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with that metaverse. They did the Decentraland one, but like that'd be cool if somehow, some way, we like found our way in it. But hey, you never know. You know what I mean? It's just let's just see what happens. I guess.
and so we had rumors as well that Songcamp has talked about organizing a festival as well, which would be uh,
I'm gonna
following
go out.
the trend. Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that that's not accurate. I mean, that's my guess. That's
Okay.
my guess. I'd be shocked. Look, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked to see if that happened.
Lindsay says that you were not on the call, like she heard it, but whatever. And then there's the MVMF organized by the community, and that is rocking and pretty exciting to organize. It's going in all direction. It's crazy. And so, yeah, we can. What's your thought on the vibe, on the overall trend coming these days?
Look, I think that where people go wrong and right is their ability to decide when and when not to include others. But the Web3 world should be, if we want to be anything different than the old world, everybody needs to be inclusive with everybody. So, for example, I love trends. That's cool. But we should do one giant one. Everybody should be doing everything together. There shouldn't be a bunch of little ones all popped out. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let's do our own, or let's do our own. Like, how about we all just do one together, and we all just celebrate and put on each other and blow up the Web3 world together and have massive Web3 orgies. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't that be a thing?
Yeah, that's the mood, definitely. But I mean, both are possible and welcome, I guess, because everyone has its own ability organized differently. You know, if a private company has a certain way to, or certain ideas to how they would do their own, it's all for the inspiration of others because they mostly would be unique with their own vision. But what's interesting with the MBMF is what's the vision of does it look like when it's us coming together? And that's something no one could predict pretty much or put on paper. That's the other way, something we have to catch as it goes, rather than something that we can tell how it will look like pretty much.
100 pizzle bon flizzle, as they say. I feel like, yeah, and it's hard to say that. It's harder said than done, including everybody and everything. It's because it's more difficult, whereas it's just easier to be more, centralized in ways, because there's less people to deal with, and you can keep people out of your ideas. Um, but I do think that a metaverse strip club, prostitution ring should be involved in the metaverse MVMF festival, no doubt. I mean, that's big facts. Who doesn't want to pay a couple ETH to take somebody in the metaverse to our special event that has Mighty playing piano live while they do whatever they want in the metaverse? You know what I mean?
What does it have to do with the strip club?
Well, they're going to be doing some things.
On the piano.
Yes, exactly. And you're going to play live for them while this happens. It's the only way, guys. It's the only way to make the MVMF huge. Come on, guys. It's the only way. It's
I
the only way.
I get the idea. Okay, we'll work on that. Maybe put us a briefing. You send us a brief, and
I'll
and
send an invoice. I'll send it an invoice. But
and we'll follow
hey,
your call later. Don't worry.
big W's though. It's big W's. No, but on the reals, back to reality a little bit. I do think that incorporating everybody into one thing is huge. Even us, we want to set our foundation. We want to get our good set list. Let's get one day fully fledged out, fully fleshed out. Then I think it'll be a lot easier for us to be like, all right, let's just get everybody in this bitch now.
Mhm.
Right now, I think even ourselves, we're being a little more centralized with our picking processes, and we're trying to reach out to people who we know a little bit more than others, and trying to just be a little more particular. But once we open, once we get that first layer done, I think that's when we want to really, really just waterfall them in. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Splash it. You know what I'm saying? And that's on Clivity. That's on fucking Schlivity, dude.
Absolutely. But I'm pretty excited to see other initiatives as well as different type of resources or ideas are to me welcome as how this new industry of virtual live in general can look like in the future. I mean, we already have examples of artists planning to go full virtual live in the future and working right now to solve and push the barriers of what it looks like and I think that's very inspiring and it is the quest to crack the code of worldwide booking for artists and finding uh, new ways in between physical travel to be able to actually perform online in different type of organization because there must not be only one way to do your live performance on internet, meaning like by yourself on your own platform, etc. You can interact with even more people, plug into parcels of others or different communities, and then boost your audience or the potential of your art across the network by combining with other, collaborating with others on live event organization. And what's exciting today is that we definitely witness that we have the tools today to be able to create mass movements that can both showcase the latest innovation, but as well provide already numerous ways to think around the idea of how booking for artists in the virtual realm looks like in the future.
Yeah, I think it's
Clivity.
all hanging in the balance. It's hanging in the balance, bon falance, okay? Ugly balls, why are you dead? And why do you have ugly balls?
I'm wondering as well.
Yeah, and why would you degrade your balls like that, dude? Come on. You're supposed to be on your own side. Standing on the wrong side like Vader.
But yeah, beyond that, I think we're over with this week's topics, unless you have something else in mind.
Topics. Let me think here. Nah.
Nah.
No, I mean, no, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I am like pretty much asleep right now. Like I'm in it. I'm in it, but I'm sleep talking. Like no doubt. I would reveal anything right now. You guys
Okay, that's interesting.
ask me my bank account right now. I'll give
Okay,
you all my money.
what's your seed phrase?
I think it's
Yeah,
clivity bone,
flashlight.
sleevity on the
Got
bone,
it.
clone, clivity.
Yeah, we can try Clivity, Bone, Schlivity. It might open a wallet actually at some point.
No, that's on factuals, bone collectuals. But guys, like I'm just saying, like we're just trying our best. You know what I mean? We're figuring it out, and we're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what MVMF needs to think of how we could make the catchphrase "Run me my ETH." That's what MVMF needs to focus on. We need to come up with a crowdfund ticketeer system that has all this cool stuff with it. And we need to run that bitch up to 100, 200, 300. And you know what we do with it? We rug pull everybody. We dip out, we take the money, we disappear to the Turks and Caicos. We buy a row of beach houses, buy a bunch of guns and ammo, and when they show up, we fucking kill them. And then we eat their bodies.
Is that in your self-awake dream right now?
Yeah. I'm kind of with it, you know what I mean? Wow, deep. Yeah, I kind of, yeah, no. Could be, it could be. Listen, not everybody's got to participate. Not everyone's got to participate.
No, but that's interesting, and that's actually a topic we had also this week about foundings,
Yeah,
the
let's talk
the
about
right
that real
the
quick,
right
actually.
people, yeah, to develop
You know,
the space the right way.
yeah, look,
Artists
I'm not
more in
gonna. I
particular.
oh, go ahead. Sorry, what was that?
I said artists more in particular, or
Yeah,
different type of artists. Music artists, visual artists, or developer artists. Different profiles. Marketing artists. These types of different fields artists, but real artists that are doing beautiful things in their field and are lacking of resources to move quicker.
right. Basically, you just hit the nail on the head right there. So, like, the biggest problem that me and Mighty were chatting about this week was, there's so many great low level, but maybe on the precipice of a budding career. It might just take them another year or two or something, and some funding and blah blah blah. But But we're in a Web3 world right now where you can create a party bid for an NFT and get a bunch of people to randomly bid on it and throw you some money. You can create crowdfunds on Mirror and, you know, fund whatever you want, blah, 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 blah. Look, you could do so much stuff right now in the Web3 world, utilizing the technology and utilizing the community to get a good idea its proper funding. And what we noticed is that, you know, why haven't we thought of this and put it all in a cohesive structure with the collective of artists and a way to essentially put them on with a fund of ETH, essentially. You know, whether that's shows weekly or monthly or maybe every other month, plus strategy, NFT, token, and just basically collaborating all within a group. Simply, like, nothing complex, no incredible storyline. They can do that all themselves, but the idea is to create a collective where we can fund that collective to create better art and greater art and create funnels for the community to obtain value in that collective. It's a very broad concept, and I'm not saying that a lot of people aren't already on this thought process, but the idea that I think is audacious and new out of all of that is that why not put that idea down on paper and say who in the community believes in this group of artists and this idea enough to throw some motherfucking ETH at it and say, let's fund this together, let's get you involved, let's get it all going, don't flowing, and on the slowing. Run me that fucking ETH.
That's the idea, absolutely.
No, I'm just
Curating,
kidding.
no, but financially curating artists among the Web3 space in general can be a work of on its own, and definitely something that I mean we or I don't know who, but something can be done in that like to basically put yourself in a situation where you catalyze through a crowdfund or something money to then curate the best profiles across the Web3 music space, more in particular, and redistribute
The
the money
ETH.
to the ETH, and redistribute the ETH to the people that are actually able to make great moves if they would have the resources to. And
Exactly. They don't have the resources. They don't have the funding. They don't have the ability to put it in the right places. They don't have the ability to create as cool of art as they could. I think that every artist should have their own fucking PFP fucking project at this point. It just shouldn't be so expensive. I think every artist could have their own fucking special NFT project that goes along with their music. That isn't just the music and the artwork. There could be so much more going on within this Web3 world that could just need basic funding. But fuck the old world. Like, the idea is this collective is not only helping fund these artists and fund the projects and fund the ideas, but it's funding a Web3 exclusive collective. So you could basically think of this as a Web3 label. You know, that's it. It's a Web3 label, but a legitimate one. Like, that's not like anything you've ever seen. It would be based primarily on the idea of Web3 principles and technology and value systems and tokenomics that are based on, you know, consumption and earning and everything that goes along with it. But to make a lot of these things work, you just need funding to create the incentive off rip. So, you know, let's get the clivity, let's get the schlivity, and then there's bon clone, and then that's on the bon ton, and the bon ton vivity.
But yeah, it would make the label role more like a catalyzer rather than a centralizer, and that
Uh,
could be an interesting situation. Yeah, because basically, even I
well,
mean,
you would make the
especially
community ultimately
yeah,
long term. You would eventually make your you would eventually make your community the label, and that's on clivity, and that's on That's a big schlivity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if
when
you
you
put a DAO on top of that, like what it is thinking about DAO records, that's basically combines the both aspects, the foundings and the curating from the community. But I mean, there can be two types of curation. That's what I'm thinking of personally as the private curation model, where we would, the catalyzer, the label would be in control of what they would like to curate, and so people would, how do you say, sorry, would transmit the founds to confident relationship between the quality of this private curation. But then there's the open model where you combine this with a DAO, and then the whole community is managing the funds that are allocated to the curation of its activity.
interesting, bunch interesting.
You got the vibe.
What'd you say?
You got the vibe.
I got the Rhymeskis bon Flimeskis tonight. The Rhymeskis bon Flimeskis Cloncomskis. So here's what's going on, guys. Nothing.
Ooh, I don't have the soundboard, but we have to set one up.
What is that, dude? What are you crinkling up a cardboard box? What was that?
What do you mean?
What was you crinkling up a cardboard box? What was that sound?
No, it was my person. Was I did the sound.
You was your person.
Yeah, it was my person. Exactly.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
But yeah.
I'll tell you this. Guys. If I don't get a massive meal after this and pass out for hours upon end, it's gonna be an interesting night. But I'll tell you this. I think that the crowdfund idea needs to happen, and I think that our goal should be 100 ETH, and the goal should be to take roughly 40 to 50% of that and put it into some sort of community over the course of a year. And we give that community back essentially 50% of the value that we fund. And when they get it, hopefully they give it back. If not, they sell, they dump, and we lose all our value. And everyone fucking turns against each other and blames each other for the problems that happen. And it causes destruction.
Your current visualization skills aren't they influenced by some dystopian vibes right now? No, but it's good to speculate to that point. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But we have to be prepared. We need to be prepared to such situations.
I'm dying, man. I'm dying. Listen, I am ready for anything, but I want to see.
Good stuff.
I do love the idea though that if you fund it correctly and you do set up the tokenomics, I mean it would literally work. I mean, like, dude, no one else is doing it. No one else is doing it the right way. We would know how to do it better than anybody else. Period. We would know how to do it better than anybody else. Period. Because we are the market. We are the people that would want to do it. All we would need to do is get people to essentially fund it. That's it. We would need to write down the idea so that people understand it well enough, and then we just need to prove with a small collective of very dedicated artists that are going to put all of their work into that collective to help put it on. I mean, it would work. How would it not work? If you believe in those artists as individuals, why would you not believe in them as collectives? I mean, a collective is more attractive to everybody, period. When you know that they're fucking with them and they're fucking with them and they're making their beats and they're helping him finish that and blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, the clivity schlivities all the way to the bone conclivity, except for on Sundays.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. and there's different ways to do this type of things in the future, and I would definitely personally and collectively would be looking toward that direction, because that's right, that um, from the day I'm here, in blockchain and NFTs in general, I've seen a lot of these tools allowing such things to happen, but most of the time, the vast majority of the time, the money gets pretty much rug pulled, and it doesn't actually benefit any type of community, because the guys are far away with the money, and actually it would make sense to create actual references, actors that do this, but on a serious level, to they what's the word in English? They, yeah, basically put themselves in a situation of money catalyzer curator for the space to develop the right way, and curate the, like an incubator, finally, but with a financial dimension on top of that. And but maybe that's where helping me elaborating my plans for what to do with our initiative here locally with Genius Corp. So it all makes sense to go in that direction, and I know we wouldn't be the only one to do so if we go in that direction, but it only makes sense to be a label without being a label. This type of vision helps um, put actually the vision together. So that's cool. But yeah, you're right. We might want to do something like it for the MVMF or for the whole music community in general, or there's it's just a mindset, and it has to be managed and executed the
I think
right way.
MVMF. I think MVMF needs to get on Mirror like tomorrow.
Yeah, how do we do that? We run email
Run. We
campaigns.
just enter the right race, make it a thing,
Hmm.
and let's fucking blast off on Class Cloth.
We can try.
We will succeed.
But I'm very excited for the MVMF. Yeah, definitely having only positive feedbacks since the beginning, and that's really motivating. So,
I asked this one group of people to join in, and they asked me how many people were coming.
mm-hmm.
I told them, I said, don't ask such a stupid fucking question, you punk. They
Yeah,
they didn't respond.
okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. That'd be funny if I did though, but I didn't say that. I asked them. I told him. I basically told him. I said we estimate a lot, but like we don't. Like, it's impossible to tell. First of all, if you're
Yeah,
asking that question, I don't
but
really.
you know what? That's funny, because I've been hearing this question as well. Not many times, but one or two people have been
Like,
around me, like locally, have asked me, but how much people is there gonna be in the end? And I was like, let me calculate. This can go quick, but it's only speculation at this stage.
yeah, I mean, honestly, you might as well just answer like, well, as many people as that don't ask that fucking question. Because like, if you're asking that question, you're in it for the wrong reasons already. Like, I'm only
No,
going if like a lot of people go. Like,
no,
come on, bro. Like,
not even
yeah,
for people who want to get in, but in my case, it was someone who had no intention to participate, and just wanted to yeah, speculate with me about what it's gonna look like. And so it's a fair question, like, and it made me question, like, how do we even calculate that? What would be our tool in the end to approximate the attendance of the whole festival?
I mean, I would estimate probably about 55.
Million people.
Uh, yeah, million, yeah, like 55 million probably throughout the whole 3 days. You know, But only 30 million are going to come out alive.
That's a good goal. But yeah, no, it's
25,
really difficult to
25 million die at the metaverse event.
yeah, difficult to know.
It's going to be a fucking gruesome death.
You're again self-awake, half dreaming.
Hey, it's season 2, baby. You don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
You don't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Except.
but yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. We can keep it tight and go to our meal, respective meal. Yeah.
We don't want to open up for Q&A?
Oh yeah, of course.
Open it up for Q&A. Fucking let the floodgates go.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a good idea to reboot, even though we do it in the end. But yeah, basically for anyone new here,
Wait, how has my audio been going?
what? Oh,
I'm confused what my audio was going through this whole time.
yeah, yeah, I heard you all the way.
Is it better? Is it better now?
It's okay.
Wait, is it better now?
It's even better now. Yeah.
Wow, I figured it out. I was fucking around the whole time. And that's on Clivity and that's on Slivity.
Yeah, you sound way better. Now we hear
Um,
the full microphone.
should we take callers? Should we take callers, live callers? Hey, you're on the air with MightyMai show. What's your question?
Yeah, of course. I'd be down
Let's
to.
take some questions. Come on, let's take some questions right now. Come on, let's get them going. Come on, guys.
Just one question. What are you going to eat? To eat, not to heat. Hello, can someone hear me? Yes. Internet connection. Actually, I do have some at home right now, but it comes in packs of 20s, and I'm not gonna eat the 20s by myself, so I'm waiting for the right occasions. But exactly like the picture I'm looking at. You're all invited. Yeah, sounds fair. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, again, run out of internet here. There's many shutdowns these days, and it's running on and off. But it's gonna be fine. Just wait and be patient, light a candle by that time and be patient with some tacos. Fill your kitchen with tacos for such occasions. I never tried, but no, we don't have that here. That would be similar. We have basically we have the trio like McDonald's, Burger King, um, for Five Guys, this type of stuff, but we don't have KIFC. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't know if it's that good that everyone says because I tried and I'm not very convinced, but it is better than elsewhere for sure. But than Five Guys? Yeah, no, I think it's the on the top of the list, definitely. Never heard of it. Jump on the mic with us. That's your time. It's like that in the new free world. Enjoy your experience. For sure. Yeah, you should double down with another big night and yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it happens to me too. But yeah, if anyone has a question related to music and blockchain, you're welcome. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, can relate. If you want a fun story, so here in France we have the pass going on. So everywhere you go, pretty much for entertainment activities. Yeah, not only, but yeah, that's the case for cinemas, restaurant, any type of activities you want to do, you need a pass. And but the I don't know what's the expression is in English, but there was um, damn, I don't know this expression, but basically what happened is the QR code, um, the pass works with a QR code, and the QR code of the president actually got leaked on the internet, and the same from the prime minister. So you've got both QR codes of the French president and the French minister that was leaked online, and as asking for IDs is only authorized by the police. So when you're going to a restaurant, they don't are habilitated to ask your IDs. So they don't know if your pass is actually yours or the one of your neighbors or whatever. And so that gets a breach where you can tomorrow go to a restaurant and give the president's QR code and actually enter the restaurant and have your perfect lunch. And so that's a big um, spin in the narrative, which is quite interesting to witness. But yeah. That's a twist, yeah, in their plans. No, I haven't tried this. Hmm. All right, I see. But yeah, so the fun pass is getting twisted here. Something like it, yeah. Yeah, shout out to Lucy. It's pretty much the end of the show. Yeah. Yeah, make sure to grab your Pope for coming. But the numbers are crazy. Like each time it's more than 300 collection pop collection collectors that get the Mighty My Pope. I was wondering, but yeah, that's what I've seen. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of that, but still gives a little chill that it's with the MightyMai. So even if it's for 20 seconds, that's still something. The pop has been generated. It's around. It's in more than 300 wallets. That's significant. But yeah, popes are great. I really plan to blast the MVMF with popes. Yeah, that's crazy. That's really concerning, and I feel bad for you that you go through that, because it really must not be pleasant to be that way. I don't for